Hey y'all. All right, so this is going to be an in-depth video, not too long, just kind of short, of our first time processing chickens. I'm going to show y'all everything from start to finish, everything we use, everything we learned, and some things that we will do different the next go round because we did get a new batch of meat birds yesterday. Stay tuned. This is what they look like the first day that we got them, and we kept them contained in here to keep them warm and at a certain temperature and to teach them how to drink and eat as well. They grow really fast, guys. You can start processing around 10 weeks, and to be honest with you, I don't think you should go any further than that because they get really huge. We only moved them a couple of times on our property just to kind of get them acclimated. And this is processing day, so after we've made the cut, we just let it bleed out until it's not moving. But unfortunately, I cannot show that here. Then we move on to dipping. We made sure that our water was at a certain temperature. And then we move on to the chicken plucker. This is the most efficient and easiest thing. We didn't want to do it by hand, so this is what we got. After that, pretty much all of the feathers are gone except for a few stragglers. We cut the feet off because I'll use those for some great chicken broth. The next step was cleaning out the organs. You can keep them if you want. One thing I wanted to pay attention to, I didn't want tough meat. So we did let them rest for a little while to eliminate rigor mortis. And here I'm just putting the chicken feet in a separate bag to freeze them because it makes the best broth. It is so collagen rich and thick. It looks like jello. Like, I love making broth with chicken feet. It is seriously nothing like it. I believe this is day 2 or 3 and we're getting ready to bag them up and dip them in the hot water. This was a fairly easy process. We got the bags from off of Amazon and it gave us all of the instructions of what we needed to do. The kids even helped us and they enjoyed it as well. We had like an entire system set up. Like, I was bagging them and then my husband was dipping it and it worked out beautifully. So this was the next step. We just had our water at a certain temperature and that's what it looks like once it's bagged. And we had 25 chickens that we processed and we froze. And we also ended up cooking one and it was delicious, y'all. All right, so that was pretty much the breakdown from beginning to end. But I just wanted to come on here to speak about like a few other things. I should have wrote it down, but I think I got it up here. So starting with like the time frame of when to process them. Yes, in the video I did say like 10 weeks and not to go beyond that. But it just kind of depends on what you like the size of your birds to be. Like between the 8 to 10 mark time frame is a good time frame. And the reason why I say not to go beyond the 10-week time frame is because they continue to eat and they continue to get bigger and bigger, and they can't withstand that kind of weight or too much weight. So eventually they will kind of start to get very lazy. You'll see them like they're not walking around the coop as much or not walking around as much. And then sometimes they'll just die if they get too heavy. With our meat birds, we definitely had to put them on a feeding routine. We only fed them once in the morning and like later evening, afternoonish. Because the thing with meat birds is it's like if you continue to offer them food and you continue to feed them, they will continue to eat and eat and eat. That's just the way that they are bred. Like, they will literally eat until they kind of like pass out. I've even heard of some of them having like heart attacks. So we definitely had hours on the schedule, just the morning, early evening, or late afternoon, like early evening. So that's what we did with ours. The other thing, especially like in the beginning, when you first get them, like keeping them or their body temperature at like a certain heat or keeping them warm is key, because it is very easy when they are small for some of them to pass. So keeping their body temperature stabilized, you got to pay attention to that. And they have like all of these gadgets and things like that, like in places like Tractor Supply or even like Amazon as well. And what I'll try to do is I'll try to like link my Amazon storefront so that you guys can see many of the things that we purchase if this is something that you are interested in. It definitely is work. You know, this time around, what we did not do, and I weighed the majority of the birds. We had some pretty large ones. Like, I think the largest one was almost 8 pounds. But I think what we are going to do with this next round is we are going to be like tracking the cost and seeing how much we are paying for feed, you know, the birds, all of the equipment. We just want to see like how much it all costs and how that compares to purchasing, you know, your chicken from like a big box or a name brand store. I mean, which we all know we're kind of like cutting out the middleman, but we just want to do a comparison on our own. So that's one thing we will do next. Another thing we will do next time as well, I think we could have like a smoother process as far as when you're first starting out with the processing. And what I mean by that is I want to talk about the rigor mortis, okay? Because what I did was I let them sit in the refrigerator, and I believe it was over 48 hours, like almost 3 days, because I just really did not want tough meat, you know. Now, what I've seen some others do is, you know, they get all of their processing done like in the same day, and they bag everything, and then they put them in the refrigerator. I may do that another time when we are doing processing. I didn't do that this time because I just kind of felt like it would be hard for me to actually see like the stiffness and everything. And you can see in the video when I was taking the legs and kind of moving them about to see if they were a little more wobbly and not as stiff as what they were on the initial day that we processed it. And I could just visibly tell that the rigor mortis had been eliminated. So I might try that with our next batch that we process. I might just say, let's just go ahead and do it all, put everything in the bag, and just leave them in the refrigerator for like 2 or 3 days. I'm pretty sure it'll probably be the same thing. I didn't mind spacing, or we didn't mind spacing it out over the 3-day time frame because it was like our first time and it was like a family affair because we had the kids doing it too. So we didn't mind doing it that way because like we wanted to try to get everything done like during the morning time because it's like crazy hot right now, and by the time it's like 11:30, yeah, the heat is kicking in. So we may do that. Another thing that we may incorporate next time as well, I'm trying to think, make sure I didn't forget anything. I think that's it, actually. Just maybe we might bag them and do everything at once the same day and just pop them in the refrigerator, leave them there for 3 days. Another thing I don't think I covered in the video, because after we had processed them and, you know, we took all the organs and everything out, we did leave them on ice in a huge cooler, a couple of huge coolers that we have, for 24 hours. We did do that just for the purpose of bacteria. Because once you have processed them and you put it in the chicken plucker and you've taken all the organs out, that's when the clock starts ticking as far as bacteria goes. Which y'all don't want no parts of that. I think many of us know. So that's the purpose of keeping them on the ice. So we did do that for 24 hours. The broth, I am just super duper excited about the broth. Like, I have so many chicken feet. I'll probably be sharing them like with my mom and my mother-in-law, trying to make sure I didn't miss anything else. I think that's it. If I did miss anything else, then I'll just capture it on the next video. But like I said, I'm going to put the Amazon link in the description so that you guys can kind of see the things that we purchased, the things that we used. And I know, like, a lot of people, they're gonna say, well, why didn't you guys just pluck the feathers by hand, because they just slide off so easily. You know, guys, it's 2026, okay? If they have a tool out there that's going to help us work more quickly and efficiently, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do, all right? I watched my grandmother, and I'm pretty sure my husband as well. And my husband used to partake in this when he was a kid. I'm pretty sure they all did it by hand. We didn't want to do that, okay? So we got the chicken plucker, and that's what we're using, and I'm glad that we used it. Chicken plucker, all right? The other thing, my husband did mention, and he couldn't be here today to be in the video, but he did mention something. It was something else that he is thinking about ordering. I cannot remember the name of it, but it is going to help retain and keep the temperature of the water, keep it steady. Because at one point in time, the water it got a little too hot with one of the chickens, and like some of the skin had came off. That's the one in the video where you saw us cutting the chicken up in pieces and putting it in the bag. I mean, we still gonna eat it. It's still good now. But yeah, he's talking about getting one of those where it'll just kind of leave the temperature of the water the same, where it doesn't fluctuate or go up and down, or where we're not having to manipulate the temperature. I cannot remember what it's called. I'll ask him, or maybe he'll chime in on that in the next video. But I think that's it. I think I have covered everything else. Overall, it was a fun process. Like I said, this is something that I grew up watching my grandparents do. While I may not have taken part in it because I was running around in the yard being a kid, I do remember it. And it just feels good to be able to do this with my husband, with my kids, processing our own meat, process 25 chickens. Yeah, now I don't have to be going to Sam's Club to purchase those whole chickens. I can just season mine real good and just put it in the oven, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Anybody else got? If y'all got any questions, look, like, I am not coming on here like I am an expert. I am by no means an expert. This is, we're going through this together, okay? Me and my husband are learning as we go. Anybody got any tips, tricks, education for us? Hey, feel free to put it in the comments. I welcome it all. All right? We're all in this together on this journey, but it was fun. Having chickens is a lot of work, y'all. We still got a lot of other chickens too, but we're not processing those ones, not now anyway. But thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. I'll be uploading more videos. And you know, some of the things that you'll get from this channel, sometimes you'll get stuff like this. Sometimes it'll be stuff about chickens. Sometimes it'll be stuff about herbs. Sometimes it might be stuff about homeschool. Sometimes it might be stuff about like self-improvement. Like I put the thing up with the book that I'm reading. You never know what you're going to get with me. All right, that's what it is. It's no niche over here. But this is what we're talking about today, the chickens. I hope y'all enjoy. Thank you for tuning in.